Hello, my Sonic viewing roadies. Well, I've now decided this is going to be a Sonic marathon for the next few games that I play from here, but anyway. It's now time for us to step away from the main series for a little bit, because, well, we are now going to do the first spin-off Sonic game from the original Sonic trilogy, and that game we are now going to do is Sonic Spinball, or known more appropriately as Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball. Available to play on the Sega Genesis, also known as the Sega Mega Drive in Europe, and a litany of other consoles as well. This game came out precisely 1 year after Sonic 2, as it first released in November 1993, and released a few weeks later in December for the Japan release. So this is the first spin-off Sonic game, and in a lot of ways, this was basically inspired by the Casino Night Zone from Sonic 2, which is kind of how Sonic Spinball came to be. Basically, this game takes place on Dr. Robotnik's Vejo Fortress, and basically, this is more or less an arcade-style pinball machine game, if that makes any sense. I get why some people like this game, but I also get why some people dislike this game. And this game would also get released in 8-bit as well. The original release, by the way, was 16-bit if you're asking, as the 8-bit releases came in both September of 94 for the Game Gear, and also for the Sega Master System. This game came out in January of 95. This is the 8-bit version we're talking about. But anyway, this game was published by Sega and developed by both Sonic Team and Poly Games. I know it says Sega Technical Institute, but to be honest, the Sega Technical Institute, for the most part, is virtually the Sonic Team, if that makes any sense. And this game would also get a release date on the Wii as well, in both March and April of 2007. But this game, as you might have guessed, is available to play on a multitude of consoles, depending on how you choose to play the game. And of course, I am playing the game on the 2009 released Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, which is also known as Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection in the European markets. Anyway, let's actually get on with the game, since I have now been blabbering on about this for 4 minutes. So let's go and do some Sonic Spinball. And also the tornado is shaped a bit differently. So, like with Sonic 2, we have options, and in order to get those right before the fucking title screen pushes me onto the demo, this is basically what we get. So, we can either do 1 player or 2 player, we can do up to 4 players. I'm going to keep the speed at normal, the music will also be on, and well, the flippers, this is obviously for a Sega Mega Drive controller, not for a fucking PlayStation 3 controller. But if you do want to know what controls I'm using, well, this is the controller setup. In case if you're wanting to know how I'm playing this game. So I just press start, and then it takes us back to the title screen. And I've already shown you what happens in the intro scene, as we will start off in Toxic Caves. And so without further ado, let's begin with Sonic Spinball. So basically what you have to do here is, you have to find a certain number of emeralds in each stage. And basically, you more or less need to collect those, and also watch out for that crocodile as well, because if you fall into the water, that crocodile will basically kill you. And we basically need to press a certain number of buttons whilst we're at it in order to officially drain the slime from the first emerald. Yeah, by the way, there's water underneath us and there is slime above us. I think, from what I know, there's usually 2 or 3 of these flipper machines that we have to work our way through. I will say the physics are a bit inaccurate for a pinball shooter, but it can be possible to eventually work your way around it if you have enough experience. Oh my god, okay. I thought for sure it was going to launch me into the water, but it didn't. It would have not been nice going into the drink. Okay, come on. Okay. Can I please stop fucking about? And maybe get on with hitting that other target. It would be nice if I could get to the right hand side, which is where I want to be. There we go. So, we gotta hit these buttons, and just like that, the slime has now been drained, and our first of 3 emeralds is now available to us, which means the hatches above us are now open, so we need to somehow get through those, and we do. Sewer time, as the game says up there. Also, if you do land in the slime, just like the water, the slime will kill you. So you have got to be careful there. It can also be possible to mistime the friggin' shots you take. But since we're now in the oil drum, we just have to row this way. This is how we get our first of 3 Chaos Emeralds. There's a total of 4 levels in this game, and already we have Chaos Emerald number 1. So this basically takes us back down to the bottom, pinball machine. We need to obviously get away from that as soon as possible, or else the robotic crocodile that swims those waters will come and kill us. And I am not even joking when I say that. Anyway, so we've got some toxic waste barrels up there that we need to get rid of. Also, if we hit those alligator heads, I think those are, we eventually do unlock the hatch. And thankfully the oil drum is able to save me from falling to my death. It can also be possible to get this wrong because of this entry thing, so you have really got to be careful here in terms of making your way back up, because if you time it wrong with that, it can and will send you back to the bottom. I know that because it has happened to me before. And I was a bit early there with that flipper, but hopefully I will get myself into position eventually. Probably should have also saved the game since I do have one emerald already. Well, I suppose that does give me access, but I need to get rid of those toxic oil drums before I can do anything else. Well, toxic barrels I think is what they're called, but we can gain access, and we can also access the minecart that is in the toxic caves as well, but you know what? Just to stop myself from dying, I'm going to show you where that is. So the minecart is here, but as you're about to see in a second or so, or maybe not. Oh, okay. So apparently because I opened that safety hatch, I successfully managed to get to the Chaos Emerald. I did not think that was possible, but anyway, I just proved it was possible. Goes to show how well I'm doing right now. As I have another hatch here that I should probably open. Anyway, really trying not to die at the moment. Yeah, by the way, clearing those toxic waste barrels, that will give us access to the boss. I'm actually making good progress at the moment. I'm actually doing better than I thought I was going to. In spite of the sewer warp things that I'm doing right now. But anyway, up on this side now, and just need to go this way. I've already been one way, so we might as well go the other way. And we'll see if we've got access. And no, we don't. Yeah, I had a feeling I was missing something. Basically, we need to pull those levers in order to get access to the emerald. For the first one, I don't think that was too much of a problem, but for this one, I think pretty much anything can happen, so I need to be aware of that if I can find out where that lever is, or if I can get myself in position. Anyway, got rid of one side of the toxic barrels now, so now I need to figure out how to pull that switch. If I can get there, of course. Come on, this side, this side. That's not where I wanted to go. You know what, I'm gonna go this way, just because I have more room to run. And also because I can just head over here to avoid doing that first pinball machine again, as I take out the Cluck Badnik. Thank God for that oil drum. I needed that. And now we have pulled the lever, so let's go and get... So let's go and get our train cart thing sorted out. If I can manage to land up there, of course. And I am hopeful in saying that I can. Without somehow landing in the slime. Come on. Yeah, this can get a bit tedious after a while. Because obviously those sewer warp things can be a little bit annoying. But it is possible to make your way back up to the minecart. And now we head to the left-hand side. And this is Chaos Emerald number 3. And there we go. we've now got all the emeralds, and basically I need to head this way, because, well, if I head this way, we'll just go back to the first pinball machine here. But of course, to save time, I am going to take the immediate entrance up to the boss area, which is where I am now. And thankfully, that mud thing is there to help me out. And surprisingly, it only took me, I think, 12 minutes to get all the way up here, but anyway, basically got to get rid of his tail. There is a name for this boss, but I'm not sure what it is, to be honest. I may look at it on the Sonic Spinball fandom page, because that's probably what I'll do. But basically we just have to stamp on this Robo-Bug multiple times, and then basically he becomes destroyed. And second time around, that was a hell of a lot easier than it was the first time. Although, technically speaking, before I did a full playthrough of this game, I only got about... well, before we continue, because, well, there's this pinball machine we have to get round to doing, I might as well save the game. Just because I've already got proof that I have beaten this game, but I figured it's better to have a separate save state, so you know exactly which one it is I'm using. I'm actually trying to make sure I keep a hold on my balls this time. My pinballs, I mean, because, well, obviously at the moment, I'm not doing a very good job of holding on to them. And I keep losing the first one. As much as I am desperately trying not to. So we have to free... Seriously? God, how much bad luck can one guy get? I mean, honestly. Okay, this is the furthest I've got so far, so I want to make sure I hold on to that. If it's possible in any way. This is now my third attempt at this, by the way, because, well, my first two attempts did not go very well. Come on. There we go. I think that was Tails I just released there. And third time's the charm. We do get bonus points for beating the pinball machines, which is why I do make sure to save the game. And that is the end of Level 1 in Sonic Spinball. And I'm just going to go on further down the fandom page to find out what that first boss was, because I want to make sure that I am at least providing enough sufficient details to give you that insight. Okay, so the first boss was called Scorpius. That was who we beat in the Toxic Caves. So the other bosses we have are the Roboiler, the Veggie Machine, and Robotnik Ship. So we've finished Toxic Caves, and our next level is Lava Powerhouse, which is what we will be doing next time on Sonic Spinball. As I will save the game now to give you full clarity of saying that level 1 is now well and truly done. Cool and good. So, Toxic Caves is now done, and now let's move on to Lava Powerhouse.